if I were the Jets, the Raiders, the Steelers, but that's not going to happen, I would automatically be meeting this morning to figure out a plan. Can we make this realistically happen? The other teams that I would throw out there that I absolutely would be doing so as well, because those are the obvious ones. Saints, 100%. The two that are probably not more obvious would be the Vikings and the Rams. I think that Joe is going to have a say eventually in where he goes. If you're Joe, you don't want to go to a place just to go to a place and experience what you're experiencing in Cincinnati. If I were Joe, I'd want to go to the Rams. I think if the Rams win and Matthew gets an MVP, Matthew will retire. I think that's very much so on the table. And if you're Minnesota and you don't know exactly what JJ is going to be, and then maybe not now future, but within the next 12 months, that would be a place as well that I would be starting to have that conversation of
Dan,
how do we make it happen.
For what though, Dan? For what though, Sam? Before y'all go on, I mean, of course, those teams should want them, but what's the assets they'll have to give up? What should Joe Burrow require?
Doesn't matter.
Every
Cincinnati require from Trent. How many first-round picks is what I'm asking?
What?
If I'm the Rams, I have
Anybody.
5 of them.
If you're the Bengals, what do you require?
Yeah, you're probably looking at 4 first-rounders, 3 first-rounders at a minimum, probably 4.
If you're the Bengals, you're taking your phone, you're throwing it in the ocean, saying, why would I even entertain this? I understand we on the outside are looking at this, and we love Joe Burrow. We want him to be on a good team. We want him to be in the playoffs. We love the way he plays, all of that. I fail to see why the Bengals would even entertain this idea at this point in his career. Think about Matthew Stafford, things getting farther on. First of all, at that time, he was not regarded in the same way, and I think now he is. But I don't think it's a realistic thing to throw a route for the Cincinnati Bengals at this point. It would have to be, in my belief, pretty far down the road. Yeah, what? You're not doing it, Dan.
But MK, we kind of had this thought process.
Rather than play for them.
Jalen Ramsey in Jacksonville, Micah Parsons in Dallas. When players,
Jalen Ramsey, you're comparing the Jalen Ramsey trade to the Bengals trading one of the best young quarterbacks of.
I'm not comparing it, but we also know that when players get to a point and get to a point where they're dug in and willing to do whatever and however long it takes, they'll do whatever and however long it takes. I'm not saying we're there. I'm saying this is the start of that.
Very different circumstances. Jalen Ramsey is a very unique player in person. I think we all know that. Micah Parsons, there was contract disputes in that scenario where Jerry didn't want to pay him what he felt he deserved early in his career. Also, Jerry Jones is his own thing. I just don't see this happen. You save this clip, and maybe down the road I'll look like an idiot for saying it. I do not understand why the Cincinnati Bengals would even entertain this. Now, to go back to your earlier point about the team and Stephen A's point about the coaching, front office deserves so much more heat than they get. If this was a big market, we would be calling for everyone in that building to be. I know they're unique with their ownership and whatnot. When I look at this team, the biggest issue to me, I understand the offensive line hasn't been great, but they have a really good run game this year. They obviously have a great receiver group. They have selected poorly in defensive drafts year after year. That's why they're in the position that they're in. And that needs to be dealt with this offseason, flat out.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Mina. Like, why would the Cincinnati Bengals consider trading Joe Burrow at this time when he's everything to you? Probably because you have PTSD, because you had a former #1 overall pick who wore the exact same number. Stay at home. Carson Palmer said, I'd rather not play football than play for the Cincinnati Bengals. And when Joe Burrow, who at one time was going to buy the Batmobile, sends out this bat signal to all 31 teams, some of them, there's 4 of them that probably would say no to him. When he sends out this bat signal that he's not having fun, it's not a signal that says, I don't enjoy football, or I don't enjoy what it takes to be good at it. I don't enjoy losing. And you are not doing the things that will help me as a quarterback who consistently plays at an MVP level not lose football games. And we could compare him to Andrew Luck if we want. They are different humans. Andrew Luck is like this eccentric brainiac who could do all of these other things, go live in a cave if he wanted to, be somewhere in Switzerland and make some sort of AI machine that saves the world. That's not who Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow is a football player that is used to winning, a football player that is used to his sacrifice equaling opportunities for success. That's not what he's getting in Cincinnati. And he's not going to come out right now and say, I don't want to be here, because they have acquiesced to a lot of his requests. But he's telling the Cincinnati Bengals and any team that will listen, I am tired of losing. I'm tired of being hit. I'm tired of being hurt. Andrew Luck was 11-5 3 times, 10-6 one time, and missed 9 games one year and missed the season because of shoulder. Joe Burrow has felt like he's been beat up even more than that.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be there if this is what life is.
3 years in a row, no Joe Burrow in the playoffs.